Yves mentioned actually the IoT. Of course, it's main growth drivers when it comes to telco. And to learn more about it, the Internet of Things, the new mobility services and solution, we are about to welcome on stage Rainer KALLENBACH. He's the chairman of the executive board of Bosch Software Innovations. Good morning. Either the lectern, either with me at the desk. If you need any clicker, it's going to be there. Choose your weapon.
So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I'm not coming from a telco company. I'm running a software branch inside Bosch, and what Bosch does, I want just to show briefly on that slide. We are working in 4 business segments, the largest one being mobility solutions, but we are also a manufacturer in industrial technology, energy and building technologies, and last but not least, consumer goods. You might have them. These are all physical goods, and the Internet of Things, I'll come back on that in a minute, is bringing a new dimension in all our business, and we are transforming it into that direction, adding services, adding connectivity. In order to do so, we have started a rather small company, which I'm running, Bosch Software Innovations, and this is currently around 750 experts globally. I want to focus in the next few minutes on mobility. Of course, the range of what we are doing is so big, and mobility is a very important thing. And if we talk about all this technology and transformation we have just seen, it must serve a purpose. And actually, it goes along with deep changes in our societies. And what you see around you is that the demography is changing. People are getting older. Society is getting older. We are getting more people, and that results in an increasing urbanization that has unfortunately also effects on energy and climate consumption. And the whole thing goes along also with an increasing connectivity of all the world. And what this means for mobility is the world of mobility is changing. And just to give you an impression, let me run a short video.
Our world is changing, and this change is visible across the globe. More than 50% of our population now lives in cities. These cities are growing, as is the share of older people in them, while space to live is becoming ever more precious. More and more goods and people need to be transported, pushing the traffic infrastructure to its limits and increasing pollution and noise levels. But the world is waking up. Regulations are calling for stricter limits and cleaner solutions. A transformation has started, powered by new technologies and services. In a world where everything is connected, mobility is being reimagined. Solutions like traffic management, combined with cleaner and more efficient powertrains, and the benefits brought by automated driving, will make our cities sustainable and livable. Bosch is driving this change and shaping the future of mobility.
So, actually, the world is connected, becoming connected. Mobility, industrial manufacturing, logistics, the energy sector, smart home, smart cities, they won't exist without connectivity and without what we call Internet of Things. Let me give a more technical explanation what's happening in the IoT. You are bringing together 3 or 4 different worlds and sectors. We are coming from the embedded world of things, physical goods. And this is very much digitized, but it's usually in the past has not been too much connected. Software was once programmed in and never changed. This is now connected to clouds via telcos. Why are these clouds connected to consumers? They are using their mobile devices. And as the whole thing is serving also business, it's connected to enterprises. And the important thing is it's many of them. It's not just one. So this is not only a technical task. We have to bring together different industries with different business models, different paradigms in various domains, and this needs for partnerships and ecosystems. Without those, we will not be able to do it. Nobody can do IoT alone. we are also convinced that the changes are happening very fast, and that means agility, flexibility, openness, and also trust are a must between these partners and between each and everyone who is contributing. From a perspective of a manufacturer of physical goods, we are a producer. We are selling these goods, and whether this is a component in an electrical car or the car itself, or whether it's a washing machine or some other item, this is physical goods business, and this is now transformed into what we call a hybrid product. It's no longer just a physical product. You have an accompanying digital product, maybe an app that goes along with it, but, and this is even more important and more of a challenge, there is a lot of service. The good itself is probably bringing a physical service or requiring a physical service, but there is also a digital service, which means making business out of the data that you get and need in order to run the whole thing. And that is indeed, for manufacturing industry, a deep change. I want to give you some specific examples. For example, everybody's talking about electromobility, and that's definitively coming. Probably not so fast as some people believe, but it will be also faster than many skeptics believe. One of the aspects in electromobility that we have to solve is charging along the road. So if you are not at home, if you are not in your location where you work or live, in public charging. Today you can do that, but usually you have a lot of provider. Everybody has his own payment and registration system, so that's not very nice. You have to bring them all together into an ecosystem, and actually that is asking not only for an app, but for a digital platform, which we are creating, and today we have more than 90% of all European internet-connected charging stations already in our backend. And that's not only a technical task, but you need also contracts with the various electricity providers. Several car manufacturers are using this, among those also Daimler, which was the first one, and also Renault. There are more examples. Coming from a car, you have probably a nice car with a park pilot system. This is sensors that collect information about the distance around you and help you to avoid bumps if you park in. Now, you can use these sensors for an additional feature. You can collect this information not only for your own parking, but also for others using a cloud. So send the data up to the cloud, get some map of where is a parking space available, and send it down to somebody else who is probably needing it. And that means somebody else gets an information where is a free parking slot, even if he doesn't look, if he doesn't have a car with such a system on it. And this is now a typical combination of a combined digital service, which is based on physical products, sensors, which are placed in cars. We are working on that. Parking, by the way, is one of the challenges of mobility. And in the future, we will no longer park ourselves, and I just give you another showcase in a video.
You'll see. I'll park next time.
So this is what we call automated parking or concierge parking. Sounds futuristic, but actually it's quite close. And stay tuned, this is coming within the next few years. The cars are basically equipped with the systems. We have to add some intelligence and certainly quite some connectivity. But this will ease our lives significantly. Now, this was very car-centric, as most of our mobility today is based on individual-owned cars. We are aware that this is also going to change. Car sharing and multimodal transportation will be the future. So each and every one of us will make a choice, maybe during one trip, which means for transportation to use. So we will switch way more often than we do today. Today, if you are having a car, usually you use your car whenever you can, and even if it's not the best way for transportation. In order to find really the best way for transportation coming from A to B, you need a database with all the information, which is online updated, where you collect public and private transformation data, exchange it, and help the customer who wants to come from A to B to choose the best means of transportation, but not only to choose, but also to book and pay, and finally do the trip. And that results in a pretty nice, simple intermodal traffic app. But actually what is behind is that you have to combine really hundreds of systems which are sources of informations, online information, real-time informations, but also booking and payment systems. And you see, to run such a thing as a service, with a good quality of service, is quite a complexity that is currently starting to be managed, and we are offering such services. If you think on that, this goes actually further. We are moving towards connected city, connected communities. So mobility is only one part of the equation. If you talk about large cities, you have beyond mobility the question of energy, certainly in electric driving closely related, but there are also other aspects. In houses, you need to heat and cool. You will connect them. And certainly there is also aspects of safety and security solutions in large environments and cities. I want to bring together all this and talk about the success factors. If we want to make this connected world happen, we will need not only technology. Technology is important, whether it's connectivity or it's software or it's big data analytics or all what we have here just also in the last presentation and certainly also throughout these days. It's much more. We have to work in a networked economy, resulting in new business models. This needs a new culture, not only between companies, but also inside companies. We need to work in ecosystems, and this will also help us and can be based only if we have a very strong and close customer relation. So this is much more than a technology task. And certainly strategic alliance, partnerships, ecosystems between various players, including the telcos, the software industry, the hardware players, public service providers are very, very important. That's it for this morning. Thank you very much. I hope this was an interesting perspective.
Thank you very much, Rainer, indeed.